Good evening, everyone. Today I will be using Peppermint Latte from Master Soap Creations, and I will be talking about the Snow King Blizzard of 1899. Stay tuned. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? John Bonham here, Cape Cod Wet Shaving. Another history shave. Another evening shave, and another one in my kitchen, as you can see. I rather like doing this. At least until the decorations go away. And if I have my way, they'll be up for quite a while longer. So we'll see. Libations of the evening. Cranberry Sprite. I bought 4 cases of this. Because it's about to go away. So no coffee, as it is 1:17 in the AM. I love coffee, but I'm not nuts either. So all right. So, as I said, I will be using Peppermint Latte from Master Soap Creations. This is one of my favorite ones. The last video I actually mentioned I would use this, and I decided to stick to that. Oh, wonderful, wonderful set. Perfect for winter. You know, a lot of people probably would use it during summer because of the menthol. It does have menthol in it. In fact, the scent notes are peppermint, coffee, and menthol. So, pretty easy. Seems much more complex. It has almost a chocolatey appeal to it, but I love using menthol in the wintertime. So, and seeing as how we've had rain for the last 2 days straight and it's really not that cold, need something to try to bring the winter gods to attention, hopefully bring us some snow. It's also why I decided to do this topic. All right, so I'll be doing the matching splash with that. If I could get the camera to focus, there we go. And my pre-shave oil that I have on now is the Cremo Bourbon Vanilla. Matches very well with this. And my post-shave balm of choice is going to be the Palmer's Cocoa Butter. They actually have a men's cocoa butter lotion that's also, it specifically says aftershave on it. Doesn't smell cocoa-y enough for me to go with this, so I will be using that. And the blades, the hardware, I'm using Crown only because they matched the label for my Shave of the Day photo. These are made by Lord. They're made in Egypt. I like these. They're not horrible, but they're not the greatest. I haven't really used them on a continuous basis. But you can see right there, Lord Co. All right. Crap, I should have looked this up, but this is a West Coast shaving, I forget what it is, stainless. I love it because of the spiral there. It's really cool looking. I use that a lot with mint and all that because the spiral looks minty. And I will be using my Cobble Hill Farm candy cane brush. I'm going to be retiring these soon. I got them, and unfortunately I will cease to use them because I specifically got them for Christmas Shave of the Day photos and use, but I'll bring them out occasionally if it matches something. So, all right, let's get into the topic. Let me go ahead and lather this wonderful, wonderful soap. Okay, so Snow King Blizzard. Was a blizzard that occurred in 1899 in the United States. It crippled this country, and it was countrywide, I might add. So, the Great Blizzard of 1899 took place from February 11th to February 14th. It is also sometimes called the Valentine's Day Blizzard of 1899. But my favorite thing that it was called was the Snow King Blizzard. It affected the entire United States, particularly east of the Rocky Mountains. Because what this storm did was it came from the north. It was an Arctic, huge Arctic belch. It came down, went along the southern states, and once it hit Florida and Georgia, around that area, it went up the whole East Coast and decimated the East Coast after. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Photo of the weather, of a weather map at the time that showed the temperatures. or it showed the temperatures of the time, I should say. And I don't know if you can see, you might have to pause, zoom in or something like that, but it's all the, like the red, let's see, the dotted black was the average temperature, I think. The red is what the temperatures became, and the black is the average, something like that. But you can check that out. Like I said, pause it or whatever. Pretty neat. I just threw it up there to show you like how crazy the weather patterns were for the whole country. The storm was exceptionally severe and brought record cools to most parts of the country, some of which stand to this day. Now this was 1899, okay? So this was about 125 years ago. And some of these records still exist. That's how crazy the storm was. The first and only occurrence of below zero temperatures in Florida happened during this storm. And it occurred in Tallahassee, where it hit -2 degrees. It's the only time in any part of the state that it got that low to this day. And this photo right here was famous. In fact, this is one of the more famous photos now, if you go look up this topic. And that is people in Tallahassee having a snowball fight. And that's the steps of the state capitol in Tallahassee. So I thought that was pretty cool. You can see the looks on their faces. They're laughing and jovial. Some of them maybe never even seen snow in their entire lives. Give me a second with this lather, and I will show you what I'm working with. Fernando, hello my friend. Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you were well. Makes some of the best soaps out there. Oh. Master Soap Creations is killer. There you go. Get the lighting to hit it right. In fact, this Tuesday on Shave Tech, it is officially Friday morning, 1:24. We are giving away a set of Master Soap Creations Chieftain, which is his version of Hugo Boss. And way back when, I'll have to go check the post, but that was one of the first, if not the absolute first. I think it was the absolute first set I got from him, and Fernando himself recommended it to me because it had just come out. So, Fernando's a good dude. South African. My mirror's down here, by the way. I'm going to try to stay in frame and do all that good stuff. Oopsie. But his stories is one of my favorites because he nailed a really good base without even meaning to, and he started sending it to his friends, and his friends immediately came back to him and were like, dude, can I have more? Like, it is unbelievable how good this base is, and he thought they were just trying to get free stuff. But Fernando and I first met, sorry, I'll get back to the history in a minute. He reached out to me out of the blue, and I might have told this on camera before, but I will, and I'll make sure maybe to mention this during the live. Look at that lather, guys. He reached out to me out of the blue, and he thought I lived on Cape Horn, I believe. One of the capes in Africa, South Africa. I believe it's Cape Horn. Cape of Good Hope is South America. So the very bottom tip of Africa, I believe, is Cape Horn. He told me that he would give me, I think it was a permanent 25% discount on all his products because he thought I was a fellow South African. And of course I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I'm like, that's really weird though. I don't know this guy. So I said, hey, where do you think I'm from? And he told me, and I said, oh, okay, I'm from Cape Cod, United States. And I think he thoroughly appreciated that. And the reason being, besides, you know, a fellow countryman, is because he doesn't know of a lot of South African wet shavers. He said the South African wet shaving market is really almost non-existent. So he's a really down-to-earth, really good dude. Family man. Vintage Lapidus is one of my favorites. And what's the other, what's the green one? The Brute dupe that he did. Vintage something. I can't remember. Ah, well, doesn't matter. But this is a very lovely, just very nice menthol. And I like it very, very much. I'm going to wet my face just a fraction. There we go. All right. Where was I? All right. February 1899 remains the coldest February on record in the states of Kansas, Missouri, and Wyoming, if you could believe it. I thought Wyoming would have forgot my hook again. Damn it. Oh well, that sucks. I have my pick that I used to move my mustache out of the way. Last time I didn't mind so much. But this time I really wanted it. Aha! Improvise. It's so ghetto. There we are. That'll work. Yeah, you think Wyoming would have thought that was nothing. Isn't Wyoming one of the states that has the doors built into the eaves of the roof of their houses, specifically because of heavy snowfalls? It's just Minnesota. I don't know. One of the states I want to wind up in. Okay. Greg Tardiff, you tell me. You would know. You're in Wisconsin, I believe. All right. Snow flurries were even seen from New Orleans all the way to Tampa on February the 12th. So it was straight up snowing in these places down in the south. I mean, obviously, if they're throwing snowballs in Tallahassee, but Tampa. For those who don't know, Tampa is further south, getting close to tropical, almost. All right. In case I didn't say hi, Fernando, how you doing? Hope you're well. I think I did, but just in case. All right, so High Point, North Carolina reported 10 to 12 inches, while Washington, D.C. recorded 20.5 inches in one single day. Okay, so interestingly, that was not D.C.'s heaviest snowfall. The heaviest snowfall, excuse me, got some soap in my nose. I'd been there and it was starting to drive me nuts. The heaviest snowfall in D.C. was a storm called the Washington and Jefferson Storm of January 28th. Hey, great day. 1772. And they recorded 30 inches that day. But that was, someone just happened to write that down. That was actually before the weather was recorded in the region. So, very cool. By February 19th, ice floes were floating down the Mississippi into the Mississippi Delta and into the Gulf of Mexico. And that's a real photo of some of the ice floes on their way out of the Mississippi into the Gulf of Mexico. I wouldn't think they would have lasted much longer after that, but that's pretty cool that someone actually was able to take a photo of that. That's crazy. Imagine seeing like little miniature icebergs. In Maine, when we were ice breaking, that looked like pancake ice. We had something called pancake ice, and that's exactly what it looked like. It was just very flat, but the ridges all around the edges of it were raised. And that was from the different bits of ice bumping up against each other. And there's actually a spot on the river, on the Penobscot River. There was a bend in the river, and a piece of ice. Almost every year we had snow and ice. There was this perfectly circular piece of ice that would turn with the current, and it was perfectly circular because things just kept bumping into it and kept etching away at it until it became this almost absolutely perfect circular chunk of ice. It was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I'll never forget it for as long as I live. Just the wonders of nature, man. Coolest thing ever. So I'm just trying to imagine being in shorts and a tank top, seeing that float past you. Obviously it wouldn't in February, but down where you live. That's the temperate, you know, that's the weather region and the climate I grew up in. All right. So, the impact of the storm on the U.S. and even Cuba was disastrous. Even Cuba, which is close to Florida, so it makes sense, but still, it was disastrous. Livestock and wildlife were completely decimated because of this storm. Okay? All right. Still got some stable lather just sitting here. And on we go. Bird populations alone were affected drastically. Tennessee's bluebird population almost went extinct, and most Virginia counties lost all of their quail. In fact, they had to reintroduce quail to these areas in Virginia, and they did not come close to their numbers, what they once were before the storm, until about 1932. So the quail population was decimated. And this is back when people would hunt quail not just for sport, but for food. So, I mean, these people were hurting. All right. Halfway through it. Time to talk about the scent and the performance. And as you can see, this lather is ridiculous in its awesomeness. And MSC's been around long enough that most people have probably tried them, but if you have not, look at that. Oh, it's like Greek yogurt. Oh yeah, look at that. And he just does awesome scents. He has one called Cherry Freeze that I need to break out too. He throws menthol in with interesting stuff. I think he has a mentholated sandalwood. He has a mentholated citrus. Mentholated lavender. He does a great job with them. All right. But the scent is phenomenal. It's latte, but it's very chocolatey, more than coffee in my opinion. There's some coffee there, but it's not heavy coffee. It's more chocolatey. Very, very nice. And that mint's just delicious soap. Well, delicious scented soap. All right. Don't eat the soap. Okie dokie. Excuse me. Wish you'd see my setup in front of me here. I got a neighbor that can see me from here, and I got a neighbor that can see me from there, and they're probably looking at me because I have a window right here. Looking at me like, what the hell is he doing? All right. And real quick before I get back into the history, I think the West Coast shaving razors are really good for beginners. They're not good to help you learn your angles, but they're very good for you to start with a DU razor and see if you like it. In fact, it might be helpful focusing on other things like how to lather and all that stuff, because the top cap of these lets you hit that perfect 30 degrees every time, and I like that a lot. But it also spoils me, and if I use them too long, I get spoiled. But they're great shavers. Highly inexpensive too. Oh, excuse me. I don't mean to burp. That's gross to do on camera, sorry. Oh, I don't know if you noticed, if you're even able to tell. We got snow going on in the background. Speaking of spoiled, I think I did that to myself here, shaving in here. Being able to incorporate the TV into stuff. Last time it was the fire. Alright. It is estimated that the human death toll for this blizzard was over 100 people. They were not great at keeping track. A lot of the people, not some, a lot of the people were unidentified to this day, have not been. So, a lot of transients, poor people, immigrants. There's a 31-year-old woman named Mary Goodwin who was found frozen to death in Brooklyn. She was more affluent, so that's why her name is known, unfortunately, as bad as that is. But she was found dead at 31. There's a woman in Oregon who froze to death in a hallway trying to find warmth, is what they believe. She was wrapped up. It looks like she had just slumped against the wall. Wrapped herself up. She was not very bundled at all. Wrapped herself up in what she could and just kind of curled up against the side of the wall and went to sleep and just never woke up. It was very sad. She was one of the ones that was unidentified, ultimately. There were 2 New York mail carriers who drowned when their boat capsized. This is New York State, not New York City. So these guys were out delivering mail, and they think that either ice built up on the boat and weighed it down and caused it to become unstable and top heavy, unruly in the water, because the weight wasn't balanced properly, or that they were hitting ice flows. I'm not sure what river in New York this was, but they ended up capsizing, probably from the shock of the cold. Hypothermia would have set in very quickly, and they drowned. Still trying to deliver the mail. So, very tragic. Look at that lather, guys. I haven't reloaded either. This is what I still have in my bowl. If I can angle it, there we go. So, alright. Crops and orchards were ruined in Georgia and the Carolinas. The majority of wheat in Washington state was destroyed by frost. Okay. This is a photo. I forget which state this was. I didn't write it down. But this is one of, I believe that's in Oregon. Or Washington state, excuse me. So, bad news. Traffic ceased in all parts of the country, across. Now keep in mind, this is 1899. Henry Ford, in 1899, be a fact, founded the Detroit Motor Company. This would only last until about 1902, in which he would turn around and do the Ford Motor Company, which is the famous company that he founded. So these were not like the Model Ts, all that. The Model T was not around until 1922. Okay? These would have been, they were cars, mind you, but these would have looked half like bicycles with a wagon on top. No top whatsoever. The earliest car you can think of, with the steering wheel just sticking out like leather, one seat, and then wheels with spokes that look like bicycle wheels or wagon wheels. That's what existed. So the traffic I'm talking about would be horses, carriages, buggies, things like that. And I'll get to that in a second. I was about to say something that's coming up. So the Weather Bureau, which was the precursor to the National Weather Service stated, great suffering was caused by severe cold among the poorer classes, and many were frozen to death. All right, that's what I was talking about. The transients, the immigrants, the poor. It's very sad. That's the way it was back then. Drifts in many cities, this is the part I was getting ahead of myself with. Drifts in many cities were higher than the horses and carriages. And this is not a joke. I'm going to show 3 photos on here, okay? So, I usually stand to the side. I'll just do this. I'm going to put them over my face because I'm going to do the last of my shaving. So, photo number 1. It's a snow wall. You can see that guy leaning on it. That was in New York City. Dang it, I had the name of the street on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. Something Avenue, not Fifth Avenue, not Saks or anything like that. It's a well-known street though, even today. Can't remember it. Second photo, okay, was this one. This is a photo taken in Washington, D.C. And you can see that kid standing next to what looks like a snow tidal wave, kind of. But it shows you the drifts. And that photo looks like it might have been taken later. A few days later, after things were starting to dry. One second. I'm gonna do my sickle shape on my neck here because of the windstorm, which is what I call that hair because it all grows that way. All right, third photo. This is one of my favorite ones. All right, you ready? This is Denver, Colorado. Boom. This is men standing in a tunnel that they had to burrow from the entrance of this Denver hotel here. Now, coincidentally, Denver, starting in 1898 into 1899, had 79 straight days of snow. And I really wanted to show some pictures from that, but I'm not going to. But it is amazing. So Denver got screwed because they were already getting snow before this thing came down. But there you go. Now I'm going to end it with this, and this is kind of ironic. In the year of 1899, on Groundhog Day, which is what, the 2nd or the 1st? 2nd, I believe. February 2nd, Groundhog Day, 1899, the groundhog saw his shadow and decreed there would be 6 more weeks of winter. Irony. All right, let me rinse off. I'll do post-shave. Be right back. All right. I can't get over how good that soap is. Such great stuff. All right, splash time. And balm, and then I'm out of here. Still went longer than I expected, but that's all right. Glad to be doing another history shave. I just had someone comment on a video and say he likes what I do, so thank you, much appreciated. Oh man. Oh. Wow, there's a lot of menthol in that splash. Whew. Oh, that's good. Okay. Got it close to my eyes. But yeah, very cool. Thank you guys for everything. Most of y'all, I mean, really all of y'all, not most of you, all of y'all have been understanding about the family first thing. So I'm happy to be doing this. That's why I'm doing it at what is now 1:47 in the morning. Whew. There's so much menthol in that splash that I'm breathing it in and feeling it like Vicks. Oh my gosh, I shook it too. I'm like trying to think, like, did I not shake it right? I shook the hell out of it. Oh, that's good stuff. And now for the Palmers. But, you know, life, what can you do? So I'm hoping we have snow here shortly. We'll go some winters with having no snow. We've had some winters where we've had tons of snow. The Cape is very strange that way. It just does what it wants to do. Time of year be damned. Christmas Day it was about 51 or 52 degrees. I was taking, you know, bags of trash and wrapping paper and open toy boxes and all that outside wearing a t-shirt comfortably. Oh man, that's good. Oh, good stuff. Mustache is a little, yeah, whatever. Trying to get it to do the curl. Kind of got it. There we go. But it is what it is. We'll see. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Not as exciting as some of the other ones, but I thought it was pretty neat. You know, it's something that I'd never heard of. Forgotten piece of history, which is my favorite, as y'all know. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it, you guys. Until next time, I'm going to push myself to do these more often. I know you've heard that before, but I really do mean it. I really have missed it. And eventually, I won't be doing this anymore. I'll be doing my normal format in the bathroom and all that. So, won't have to decorate as much. Man, my eyes are watering from that menthol, dude. Whew. Got it really close, like right here. So, paying for that one. Yeah, that'll do it. That's embarrassing. You hop in at the end of this video, look like I just confessed to something. Oh. Alright, that'll do it. Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. Till next time, do another history shave, another Monday monologue.
The verb shave has its origins in Old English.
Alexa, cancel. Why? But she didn't even know she was there, did you? Where was I? I believe Sunday we're doing a live shave. Nope, not this Sunday. I'm sorry, the 7th, not the 2nd. We're going to be having a live shave, hopefully with a very special guest. Damn it. So, I'm excited for that. Y'all tune in for that. Doug and I. And then Shave Tech. We have our New Year episode coming up, so be sure to catch that, okay? 8 o'clock is Eastern, like always. All right, y'all take care. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Till next time. Happy shaving. Be safe.